Nomad at Night, starring the one and only Nomad.
Yo, No Maniacs, what's good? Welcome to the show. This is Nomad at Night. I'm your host, Nomad, man. Listen, let me tell you something. Are y'all having a good time, Chicago? Are y'all feeling good tonight? Because I want you to do one thing tonight. If you don't do nothing else, let's have a good-ass damn time tonight. Let's have a real good time tonight. Let's celebrate what we should celebrate. We're going to talk about some particulars tonight about the game. This is what a post-game wrap-up show should be. Might look at a couple of highlights here and there. But man, the more I reflect on this game, kids, the better I feel about what I saw today. You know what I mean? It was exactly what you would like. We call this show, if you've seen the thumbnail, what is right there in front of you is we play Chicago style football. Played defense, and we did just enough to win the game. Offense and complemented the defense with enough offense to win the game. Hell of a special teams kicking effort with my guy right here on the screen, Torrey Taylor. I mean, this is what you expect Chicago football to be like. Do we expect the offense to get a little bit more explosive, more dynamic? I think a lot more is coming. As a matter of fact, it's just a matter of unlocking that stuff, and that they'll be able to match what the defense can bring to the table. The defense at spots today wasn't that flattering, but I told people ahead of time, beware. You probably won't see a better quarterback on the schedule for the rest of the year. Period. Matthew Stafford was it. That was your pinnacle as far as having to deal with a quarterback who has an offense dynamic enough to really hurt you. And as good as your defense is and as good as it was today, they stuck the skewer in us a little bit, man. But we ain't going to focus on that tonight. We'll talk about it a little bit. But before I get going, let me just say this, man. We got a special guest tonight. My guy, Black Diamond, one of the members of the No Maniacs, man. He is with us. He is waiting behind the scenes. We're going to bring him on in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to give it to kids for a few pleasantries before we get cut.
Hey, y'all. Sunday night, Nomad at Night. Chicago style football, birthday Bears win. So cheers to all you Bears fans out there. Take a sip with me. Let's get this party going.
You ain't going to shout nobody out?
Oh, I'm going to shout, but I definitely need to take a
happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Little birthday Bears win,
This is going to be your birthday party. We're going to turn this into a kid's birthday celebration tonight.
There we go. Right. So big shout outs to all you Bears fans out there on the win. Mad love to the team. Let's get it started with Patty Laura. What it do, Patty? What it do, Armando? My bad, Junior. What it do, Junior? Hopefully all is well. Crimson. Yedig is in the building with us, holding it down. Jay Grizz is out there. Bears Junkie 23, HOF. Super No Maniac King, Book of Worlds. Super No Maniac, the Nodge is out there. BT9 just jumped in. That's Bear Truth 9. Always good to see you, Bear Truth. What it do? Jigsaw's out there with us too. Squeaky Leaks. What it do, Squeaky Leaks? What's popping, my friend? Top 10's in there with us. Man, we got ourselves a win. We got Milton Chisholm out there with us. Chris Franklin just jumped in. Judah Tribe is with us. I'm sorry, right off the bat, Judah Tribe already angry, calling in for Tyson Bajan. He wants TV17 in the building. I don't care. We win. I'm happy. And again, birthday shout outs to all you Libras out there. And I know there's all kinds of Libras out there. Big love to the Libras out there. But yo, let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's talk about this game and how things actually went down. Bringing our guy Petty Murphy, the Black Diamond. Let's get Petty Murphy up in this piece with us. There we go.
As you wish, that he is Mr. Black Diamond himself, aka Petty Murphy, coming to join the No Maniacs live tonight, man. What's crack-a-lacking, dog?
Man, I can't call it. Just glad to be here. Kids, I didn't know you was a Libra. No wonder I like you, man. My old lady birthday was Wednesday.
I told you, bro. I told you.
Okay.
What they say about
wonder
Lee?
Keep it. That's why I'm asking for balance on this football team. We need some balance, bro. We're getting some balance right now.
Don't tilt them scales too far the wrong way, and you be all right.
What they say about Libras, man. I don't know.
Don't tip them scales too far the wrong way. You tip them scales too far the wrong way, you in trouble. Trust me, I've been with mine. I've been with mine 12 years, so
he pretty even keeled, man. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty even keeled, man. Me and Kaz have been through some stuff, man. Back and forth. We seen a lot over here on this channel, man. It came and it went. It's coming back again and all that kind of good shit. And yeah, man, he's even keeled. I like working with him. I think we make great podcasts, but my brother is happy birthday again, Kaz, man. Enjoy the show, man.
Yeah,
this is
happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Once more, I appreciate a Bears win even more than the birthday. So there's that. We're on on a trajectory in the right direction finally. Took a little while, took a meeting apparently, took a little ruffling of feathers. But here we are. Offense didn't look absolutely terrible today. It looked like it was an offense in progress. And then it actually started to progress right there on the field for us today. So I'm pretty happy with what I saw in this particular game. I was also strange. Like, I was pleased with the coaching today. I don't know about the rest of you guys. What did you think, Petty? What was your take on today's game, man? You know what, Petty? Since we ain't seen you for a minute, what's your take been on these last 4 games, man? Let's just throw the floor at you, man. Give you the opportunity.
We can't throw the ball 52 times.
This is not sustainable.
I mean, look. I mean, the uncivil war, kids, Nomad, you knew where I stood. I felt you should build around Justin, trade down, and build the trenches. They didn't do that. They decided they wanted to go with this kid. And, I was not a big fan of it at first, but I would say of the 4 interceptions, 3 of them are his fault. One of them, Rome should have. If it hits you in the face, Rome, you got to catch it. You got to come down with it. I'm sorry. I put that on Rome, that 4th one. But overall, it shouldn't take us 4 weeks to learn this is how we need to play week in, week. We should have been playing like this since we played open the season against, who was it, Tennessee? If we would have been playing the way we played today, week 1, you're talking about a 4-0 team. Because I don't even think, I know Houston got spanked by Minnesota. I don't think they won today. Because I know before I left out the house, they were losing. They were driving, but they were losing. Can anybody in the chat tell me if
man. Oh yeah, I can tell you. I can tell you
the Jacksonville by field goal.
They pulled it out. 2020.
So Houston did pull it out.
Yeah, they pulled it out.
Houston's offense is like that. But I think what's going to keep them from beating a team like the Chiefs is they don't have enough defense. They don't. Yes, they have 2 great edge rushers, but to beat a team like the Chiefs, you have to have corners. You have to have corners. And I'm not saying Darius Stingley is a bad, overrated or a bad corner. He's not. I'm an LSU fan, so I watched the kid, especially his last year at LSU. I follow him. And he is a good corner. However, I just think with you go up against a man like Andy Reid, you have to be on your P's and Q's. So to my point, we should be 4-0. We should have beat Houston. We definitely should have beat Houston. I mean, not Houston, I'm sorry, Indianapolis. We definitely should have beat Indianapolis. We gave that game away. Even Cole, they know they gave that game away. Cole, DJ, Caleb, all of them said we should have won that game. So I guess it was a blessing in disguise that game did happen, because it kind of smacked them in the face and woke them up like, hey, we need to get our sugar honey iced tea together, and we're here to win. And they showed that everything they said in this meeting, they went out and put it on the field. They put it on wax. That's what I wanted to see. I was saying all week, okay, all this talk is fine. That's good. I'm glad you all are talking like you care, but I need to see it on the field. And that second quarter on, I saw it on the field. So my overall grade for him right now would be about a C plus. It was a D minus F. But you know, after today's performance, I got to take it up a notch. I give him about a C plus right now, as far as the overall team is concerned. I give him about a C plus.
Do me a favor, Petty. I know you passionate as I am. I used to do certain stuff when I talk and I get excited, and then you can hear it during the show. Just try to move your hands off the table, like put them on your lap or something, because you can every time you're expressing yourself. It's just like it's all good. It's all good, but I know you just expressing yourself, man, and that's how you do it. But all right, let's start right here. Let's pull it on back just a little bit. Let's reel that motherfucker in a little bit. Let's start right here, because I'm gonna point out some stuff and we'll talk about each one of these points, and I'm gonna see if people saw it the way I saw it. I saw Caleb take some strides in the play action game under center today. Would anybody agree with that? Anybody?
That Caleb took strides today?
Under center, man. He wasn't looking as comfortable as he is in shotgun and RPO and empty. You know, he just wasn't, you know, his reps under center to me, and I was talking to Coach T about this before too. His reps under center didn't look as good in the play action. I'm starting to see he's starting to look better doing that. I know you had to, if you paid attention to it, you paid attention. If you didn't, you didn't. I understand it. But I think the more and more they use him under center and he gets the play action game going, the more and more he's going to see deep shots come open. And so I thought that he progressed under center. He looked more comfortable. I think that's what I was trying to say. He looked a lot more comfortable under center today than I noticed any other time.
So I won't say that I noticed any uncomfortability in the previous games. I will say that they used it a fair amount more today, and it was pretty smooth. It actually worked quite well today. Petty, did you notice anything along those lines with him being under center?
I saw strides outside of the one bootleg where there was a miscommunication between him and DeAndre Swift, but he still was able to get it off and pick up a crucial first down. But I was banging the table for more under center, and I want to say, for a percentage ratio, I think it was more like 60-40 under center. I mean, yes, of course, he still gave him some shotgun RPO looks, and that's to be expected. I mean, it's the kid's fourth game. You got to give him, a little bit of what he's comfortable with, but I definitely saw what Nomad was referring to. Still not great. Like, I believe it was Crimson that just commented that it wasn't great, but it was a bit better. Yes, it was a bit better. So I like Coach T said, by week 12, this kid should be like able to spit this offense out with his eyes closed. So.
Oh yeah, just like anything else, man. You the more you do stuff, the better you are at it, and he's just gonna grow and grow and grow. As long as he keeps taking it serious, putting in that work, and making sure he's got his ears and eyes open to the detail that's trying to be coached in him. If he does that and listen to the people around him, and that includes his teammates, on how to approach certain things. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get critical today, and I think this, and I'm gonna say this, and I said this during the live broadcast. Him overshooting DJ. Him overshooting, who else was it? Was it Keenan? He overshot. I think it was Keenan and DJ on some one-on-one shots. I think I don't think it's nerves. I think there's a few people in the show that thought it is nerves, but in a different kind of way, not like nerves like I'm afraid. It was more nerves like, oh shit, eyes wide open, there go a shot, and one-on-one, and you just overshoot it. You get a little too excited. You know what I mean? And to me, this is going to take a little bit of poise. So let's just say in that department, if you had to give them a letter, a point grade from 0 to 10 of poise in those situations, I give him about a 4 right now because he's got a lot to grow in that department. You got to just calm down and deliver an easy ball to catch. That's all it is, man. You just got to calm down a little bit, and those plays going to come to him naturally.
Wait, no, man, I'm sorry. I just want to respond to Naj's comment. Naj, you are absolutely correct. That is going to be November. And yes, absolutely, we need to run the ball, especially against the Packers, because I think somebody on the Packers went down today with an ankle injury. Well, I think his last name is Wyatt. Does anybody know his first name? But I know he's their nose tackle. Man, what's that guy's name? Oh man, number 95.
Y'all already looking at you talking about Devontae Wyatt.
Devontae Wyatt. There you go. Yeah. So Naj, you are absolutely correct. But I was more so speaking to the frame of him knowing where his receivers are going to be, the timing. By week 12, the timing should not be an issue. It should be flawless timing between him and DJ and Cole and Keenan and even wrong. By week 12, this offense should be firing on all cylinders, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, kids.
I was hoping that it would be faster than week 12 is really where that's where my barometer is. I'm hoping it doesn't take them quite that long to get there, right? So, why I lean towards giving Petty sort of the floor just on the first 4 games, because it's important to sort of look at this first, these first 4 for what they were. So game 1 was really to see if this team was trained and coached up over the preseason and ready to play football. They weren't, but they squeaked out a win. Like, let's just be real about that. Game 2 was the first test. They failed, and that's fine. All right. Brand new squad, brand new OC, brand new all kinds of things getting acclimated. Week 3 was not a test. Week 3 was really to just see, can this team beat just an average regular football team in the NFL? And again, they faltered, which was a little bit of a question mark. It made the world stop, made Bears fans stop, made the Bears themselves stop and go, wait a second, why isn't anything working? And week 4 was their ability to look at the previous 3 weeks and start to rejig and put something viable on the field. And they actually were able to do that. So that's encouraging, right? So that's very encouraging. This was supposed to be a much tougher test. I had this Rams game, as a loss for the Bears. All right. So this is the reality. I also had the Colts game as a win. So things have sort of flip-flopped, right? They lost the Colts game. They won the game against the Rams. Fact of the matter is the Rams are a little bit decimated with injury, and that boded very well for the Chicago Bears. So the reality here is they're still in, they're still on the same trajectory that they were before when I had them going potentially 12-5 on the season. Now, they still have a very long way to go to get to those numbers, right? Like, they're not playing by any stretch of the imagination like a 12-5 team. They are not. So I'm remiss to bring up the number that I started out this season with, but that's the number. Again, the upside is they're starting to figure it out. If this offense can put up between 21 and 25 points a game, the defense can keep them in winning position. And that's what we need. We saw today. The question is this sustainable? Can they continue this? What do you guys think?
Well, I wanted to Yeah, they can. The problem, the scary thing about what the Bears are capable of, we have seen the very tip of the spear so far. There's a whole damn shaft left to go. I didn't realize I'm thinking out loud that the producer Nick popped up, and I'm like, hey, who the hell is putting up comments? And I'm like, I didn't hear him come. I didn't see him come in, but my guy Nick has showed up and he's producing in the background. Let's get to that. Let's get to that, because the next thing I want to talk about is I still think there's a lot left on the lot of meat on the bone as far as just down the field finding guys and getting. I'm talking about Caleb and getting guys more involved. And here's a little nugget I want to point out today as far as his play action game. Play action game under center is important. Like this kind of important. If you notice how Matt Stafford plays, when he does his play action fakes, when he really wants to sell it, he can literally freeze a linebacker or safety. You know, either or, he'll freeze him. That's how good he is on his fakes and his action. They call it play action for a reason. You really have to sell that. And I think Caleb is just he's just getting himself into it. I think once he starts to really sell, remember I told you this, once he starts to really sell his action on a play action, on those, he's gonna find, like, he's gonna have some 60, 70-yard touchdowns coming, 80-yard touchdowns coming. The more and more later on as we go, the more and more he starts to really sell that, and plus get that running game going, which is the next thing I want to talk about, was the usage of DeAndre Swift, and how Flus must have been watching our podcast and taking my damn game notes and listening, because he went out there and they went out there and did exactly what DeAndre Swift, what I said they should have been doing with him in the first place. Get him more involved on the perimeter and make him more viable that way. He can have more of an effect on the game if you do it that way than trying to, ramrod this cat up the middle all the time. He's not built for that. That's not his game. He gets loose on the perimeter and he makes plays. Put him in space and let him work. And so obviously they must have seen that on tape. Like, we've tried this for 2-3 weeks in a row. We've got to figure out a way to get this guy on the perimeter, catch, run, all that kind of stuff. And DeAndre Swift was the difference today. On offense, anyway. Go ahead, kids.
Well, it's about time. We all been waiting for it, right? We all been waiting for it. I think somebody said it in the chat. I think it might have been top 10, but somebody said it earlier, and what they said was, I think the identity of this offense runs through DeAndre Swift. And I can't for a second deny that sentiment. Look what he did today. He was able to really be effective, not just on the ground, just shy of 100 yards on the ground, very effective in the pass game. And I think that's really where DeAndre Swift shines. He shines as a dual threat back. He really does. And you kind of have to utilize him as such. They finally got it to him. They were also able to leverage Roschon Johnson for a fair amount of yardage too. Imagine this guy was here earlier today saying, bring in Velus Jones, damn it, I don't care, fix the run game. I guess somebody was listening to me, even though Velus Jones was a healthy scratch, but that run game looked a heck of a lot better today, and that was really all I was asking for. The only odd things I have to say is I'm not sure what this means for a Khalil Herbert as far as this roster is concerned, but the faster they unlock this DeAndre Swift thing, the faster I think this whole field is going to open up for Caleb Williams. It's going to cause defenses to actually respect DeAndre Swift and what this run game could actually be.
Real quick, before you go, Petty, let me jump in here real quick, because Smitty Q made a comment here. Smitty Q, one of our members, said I've had to deal with the hurricane and get home to the bio. He said, and the bio lab down the road from my house blew up this morning, and now he's in a shelter until further notice, man. Hey, man, listen.
Oh, no, Smitty Q.
Good vibes to you, Smitty Q, man. Everything will work itself out, man. Them vibrations just got sent to you. Everything will get better from here, man. I promise you that. Good vibes.
Where you at, Smitty? Where you at, bro? Tampa?
I imagine in Florida somewhere. I imagine. But yeah, just good vibes. Everybody send get them good vibes.
Big love to Smitty Q, man. You'll make it through, brother.
Yeah. For sure. But go ahead, Patty. I interrupted you.
No, you fine. You fine. Because I was gonna before I went, I was gonna want to send my prayers to Smitty Q, man. That's man.
He's at
That's
the top
tough.
of Georgia.
And Conyers, man. Georgia got it bad. They got it worse than I thought they would get it.
Yeah, prayers up, man. Yeah, Georgia definitely got hit hard, man. Like the southeast side of Atlanta, like Buckhead, man. I saw videos and they were just like submerged in water. Like it was, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
Buckhead, Sandy Springs, you ain't used to seeing no shit like that.
no, not in Atlanta, man. Not in Atlanta, but definitely prayers to you, Smitty. I hope everything is well. I mean, I know it's not the best situation, but it'll get greater later, man. We definitely at the Nomad Network, we definitely praying for you, man. Hope everything is well. As far as DeAndre Swift is concerned, it's about darn time that they used him the way he needs to be used. I'm just glad we didn't get to the goal line, go in shotgun, and try to run a speed option. I had to get that in there because I don't know what they were thinking running that play against the Indianapolis Colts. Like, come on now. My 14-year-old cousin can sniff that out. Like, come on now. But nonetheless, DeAndre Swift, they finally used him the way he needs to be utilized, and he was every bit what we thought we were getting when we gave him $8 million. I'm interested to see, there's a certain podcaster, I'm not going to say their name, but they have been very, very critical of DeAndre Swift. So I'm interested to see what they'll have to say tomorrow morning. But nonetheless, and I don't know if we were going to talk about this guy, but Tory Taylor. Taylor.
Hold on.
Taylor.
Hold on, Petty. Because I got to cut shorts out. We're gonna stick to DeAndre Swift for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to Tory. DeAndre Swift.
Absolutely. I mean, I give him for that performance today. I give him an A+. He was something else.
I would give the A+ not only to DeAndre Swift but the play calling. You know, it was a couple of plays where Caleb had to check it down and DeAndre made something out of nothing.
Something happened, something after nothing. Something out of nothing.
And then they scripted it up right, and you got to give the receivers credit, man. And they got it blocked up. You know, I mean, it was time. Like I could think of one right now that DeAndre Swift grabbed the first down that DJ got it blocked up on the perimeter, man. And I seen a lot of good stuff like that out there. We're gonna look at a couple of highlights here shortly after we run through this list. But DeAndre Swift, there's a few people I thought that should have got game balls. Tory Taylor probably should have been one. But the fact that he gave Mercedes Lewis, who was the next guy we're going to talk about, the game ball, I think Mercedes Lewis took it on the chin this week because he came out and it sounded like, if you would have listened to all the podcasters and the media, it sounded like it was some problems within. You know what I mean? It sounded like if you listen to all of that, you would have thought that, you know, Mercedes Lewis calling a meeting and bringing DJ, bringing Caleb, and bringing Cole Kmet in it as captains was a problem. Like what is going on that has them have to have a team players only meeting with Shane Waldron at this point in the season? No, I told you it was a good thing. Because they were able to get clarity between each other. You know, I would imagine that Shane Waldron would come into this situation. He's got all-stars out there, man. He's got DJ Moore. He's got Keenan Allen. He's got a #1 draft pick quarterback. And he's got guys around him. He's got DeAndre Swift. He probably was walking on eggshells a little bit and trying not to ruffle too many feathers and not really calling the game the way he was supposed to. And I think that Mercedes Lewis, I think, did deserve that game ball because he was able to put that out in the atmosphere and out to the public and take all the, any kind of slings and arrows would have came to Mercedes Lewis, and he was willing to put himself out there to say that, you know what I mean? And as a leader on the team, you got to have dudes like that. And so I thought Mercedes Lewis not only did that, during the week, but during the game, oh my God, man. And I only got to see a couple replays of the game. He was pivotal in that run game. He was pivotal. Some of the blocks that he made was pivotal. You'll see him all week on Twitter. Mercedes Lewis made it was some really nice runs by DeAndre Swift that wouldn't have happened without and Khalil Herbert without Mercedes Lewis. But just wanted to make sure I give my man Big Dog some flowers, man. He earned them today. What say you, kids?
Right off the bat, I say he's in a bit of a he's in a bit of a different position than 98% of most football players. He's at a level where he's actually playing for the love and a couple of bucks, obviously, but mostly for the love. At this age, he doesn't have to do this at all. He's made the bulk of his money already. This is just a little bit of additional paper to pad, pad whatever he's trying to do after football. But he kind of exists in a bit of a different, I don't give a what level of football, right? Like him having a conversation like this or stepping in front of a conversation like this, and he doesn't get played. He doesn't care. He's making money. He doesn't get re-signed. He's almost 50 years old. He doesn't really care. You know what I mean? Like he's in a bit of a different position. And what I feel really was going on was I feel that Caleb was a little bit disillusioned by the way that this offense was working. This is the way that I'm reading this. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but allow me the opportunity. I feel Caleb was probably feeling a little bit disillusioned with the way that this offense was working. I think the sentiment may have also bled into the rest of those leadership guys. Cole Kmet, I don't think Cole Kmet was being utilized correctly in those first two games. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Things started to change a little bit in game 3, but first two games, definitely a questionable situation for Cole Kmet, Caleb Williams, the rest of those main offensive guys. So I think what really wound up happening was I think the old dog, the big dog stepped in front of this and just said, hey, look, like things ain't working. You're not calling the right stuff. Don't worry about calling us out. If you have to do it, by all means do it. Same token, feel free to throw me under the bus if that's what happens, or have the conversation with me so I can have the conversation with them or vice versa. Because, I don't really care. I just want to win football games because that's really the only reason that I'm here, right? Like, he's here to win football games. He really doesn't care otherwise. And that's my 2 cents.
What say you, Patty?
I mean, Mercedes Lewis, man. I mean, kids pretty much hit every point I was gonna make. Like he's doing this for the love of the game. I mean, he's made his money. I mean, he's set. Like he could have retired after this game, walked away, and been like, okay, I'm good.
It's true.
Look, Mercedes Lewis, I'm not mad that he did what he did this week. I'm more so relieved it was necessary. Somebody, because I don't know who it was, but I was watching the podcast. I think it was earlier this week or maybe after we lost to the Colts. And somebody was making a point about Ryan. A reporter asked Tevin Jenkins who was the leader of the offensive line. And before they could get the question out fully, Tevin Jenkins fired Ryan Bates' name. So now that Ryan Bates is on the IR, I think Mercedes felt it was on him to take leadership and say, look, this isn't working. I'm here to win. We have everything we need. There's no reason why we should be 1-2. Look, if you need, add to your point, kids, if you need to throw me under the bus, so be it. But I'm here to win. Like point blank, period. I don't care about nothing else. I want to win. And thank God Waldron took that
Took it the right
to
way.
heart.
Yeah.
Took it the right way. Took it right, because if it would have been our previous coordinator who's going to remain nameless, I don't know how that would have went. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely Matt Nagy would have hated the whole thing. Matt Nagy would have hated it.
I think Shane Waldron is a nice guy. I think what it smells like to me is he's a nice ass guy, and he just didn't want to ruffle no feathers, and it took the leader to come in there and say, "Hey man, you can't worry about that, man. We trying to win. You got to coach these motherfuckers." And
right, you got to coach it hard.
And if that means you got to piss some people off, excuse me, and upset a few people, then so be it. I'm the leader of this team, and if somebody got a problem, they can come talk to me. But you coach these dudes and get what you need to get out of them. Don't worry about no backlash. You do what you need to do. I think it's safe to say, kids and Petty, I think Shane Waldron probably needed that reassurance. Does that sound about right?
It does.
Everybody's not top 10. Everybody's not an atypical personality. Everybody doesn't have that. You might be a good schemer of an offense, but don't have that atypical personality to be one to get in people's damn face. And you can do the job equally well if you're not that type of person. But go ahead, fellas.
Yeah, I was gonna say to what you just said, it can come off as fake.
Trying to be that.
Trying to be something you're not. And I can understand that, because Nomad, me and you had a conversation off air the other day, and I had said, well, if that was the case, then he's not it. And then you had said something along the lines of what you just said, and it got me to thinking, like, yeah, you got a point. I can't disagree with that. Look, for what Shane Waldron may not be the greatest offensive mind, but compared to what we've had, again, our past coordinators are going to remain nameless. He is the greatest offensive coordinator we've had, because what I saw today, if he calls that on a regular, if he calls the remaining games like that, let's see, we're 2-2, so that's 4 games. We got 13 games left. If he calls the remaining 13 games the way he called the game today, I guarantee you we'll go 9-4. Maybe even 11-2. Maybe even 11-2. Because with that kind of play calling and the way we play defense today, and looking at our remaining schedule, there's not too many more teams that really scare me. After watching the Packers today, yeah, a lot of it may have been Russ, but Jordan Love didn't look all that good. He threw, 3 interceptions. He threw the ball 48 times. And I mean, yeah, he had almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but you threw the game away. You threw 3 interceptions. Nomad, you know how I feel about Jared Goff. Sam Darnold, I think everybody knows Sam Darnold. It's Kevin, what's his name? Kevin O'Connell. It's Kevin O'Connell making Sam. He finally got in the right system. It's the system that's making Sam. Sam Darnold's not a good quarterback. He's not a starter. He's a backup. The only team that really scares me, I would have to say, and I hate to say this, it would be the 49ers. Because it's Kyle Shanahan. That's the only team remaining on our schedule that really scares me. Like,
as a defensive person, somebody that played defense, and the way I see football is through the defense. I can see both sides of the ball, but when I think football, I think defense. And when I look at the people the guys on our schedule, thinking about quarterbacks and what kind of dynamics a quarterback can bring to the functionality of a game, and I'm telling you, we just saw the pinnacle of the quarterbacking on our schedule. We saw the pinnacle, and we was able to get out of there without him ripping our throats out. You know, Matthew Stafford is absolutely the best quarterback we're going to see on that schedule.
The dog.
And anybody want to argue that? Go ahead and argue all you want to, but you're going to be talking to the wall. That's the best quarterback on the schedule. Now, systems.
He's a dog.
I mean, he is diabolical with how he can tear up your defense. And we were able to overcome that. You know, I'm not saying that we got lay down games in front of us and we got games that we shouldn't pay a whole lot of. Every last one of them means something, and we got to pay close attention to every one of them and what they bring to the table. But nobody's going to dice up the defense quite like what this was the pinnacle. And I know for a fact that Eric Washington and Flus are telling them that if you was able to withstand the barrage that Matthew Stafford can do to the defense, then everything else is downhill now. Jordan Love is pretty good with his offense now. So, and he's going to get better and better with that throughout the season. You know, he might be missing a couple of pieces, but truth is, kids, Matthew Stafford was the pinnacle of the quarterback play that we're going to see this year.
So you're 100% on this one, and the fact of the matter is, for me, I'm not worried about the defense holding up against the NFC, really. And this is what I've been saying all off season. I feel like the NFC is a little bit weak, right? The biggest challenges for us are in division, and the Texans and the Rams. Rams we beat, Texans we lost. Rest of the teams is table stakes. We have the opportunity to win all of these games, until we see the 49ers. And I believe week 10, that's a game where things get real again. So my hopes is that this offense can figure it all out before we see the 49ers. Because directly after the 49ers, we start to slide into the gamut, right? We start to slide into those interdivisional games against the Vikings, against the Packers and the Lions. Those games are tough. They're going to be super tough. The Packers didn't look great today. That bodes very well for us as we move forward. But the stark reality of the game that happened today was that the Vikings were the guys who ate their lunch. The Vikings look great. The Vikings have a defensive front that will just simply attack you, blitz you, throw crazy looks at you. I'm a little bit worried about the Vikings defense, a bit more so than I am the Vikings offense. But if the Vikings offense is also working with a Sam Darnold, that's interesting, right? Like, that's an interesting situation that we really didn't think we'd be walking into. We were hoping it would be a little bit of a regression at the at the quarterback position for that team up north. I don't see that being the case right now, especially with the way that their defense is putting other teams on notice. So I'm worried about that back half of the season, and we have to get there. And my hopes, one more time, is that they can figure out what the identity of this offense really is, and start to exact it on teams moving forward before week 10.
I think we're looking way down the line. I was talking about Matthew Stafford being the better quarterback and what he can bring to the table.
He's good. He brought a lot to the table today. It didn't turn into a win for Matthew Stafford, but this second, like, just to boil it down, this secondary can manage any quarterback moving forward on this roster, on this schedule. They can't. The question really remains on the other side of the ball.
So, in my opinion, that latter half of the schedule, I think that's the latter quarter of the schedule or so. It's a murderer's row of games, man. You got to be physically ready for those games, because those are going to be some physical ass football games. Very, very physical. And it's going to be a war of attrition to be able to get through all of that. And we hope to be in a position to get in a spot for a playoff run, and to be healthy going into your playoff run is what's optimal. But when you play in a schedule of teams like that, it's going to be hard to get yourself healthy. And I'm going to knock on wood, keep yourself healthy rather, knock on a little wood right now. But we ain't gonna worry about that right now. Let's check some boxes. But I do think the fact that and Nick is looking for something on Tevin's injury because Tevin got hurt today, and on the offensive line, we got some stuff to talk about. But let's focus on Tevin for now. Tevin got hurt he's gotten hurt about this time every year in the season, in every one of his season. Sounded like he had a rib problem during the game. But it was nice to have Pryor come in as his backup. It was nice knowing that we had a backup. He gave up a couple of pressures, but he had to switch to the other side and play a whole different technique after working on the right side all week. So I don't know that people know how difficult that is. So give Matt Pryor some respect. Let's talk a little bit about what we think about Tevin possibly being hurt. I don't know how bad it is. Nick is looking it up now.
Well, that'll be a day-to-day situation as far as Matt Eberflus is concerned. He'll say that until Thursday, so I'm sure we'll be waiting to figure out exactly how healthy Tevin Jenkins is moving forward. But I am going to say that there was one of the highlights of the game for me today was watching Matt Pryor just run fist pumping all the way into the end zone, just happy as all hell when DeAndre Swift scored and he provided a key block. He's not an extreme drop off from the guard in front of him. I think he's been playing decently, and again, I hope he continues that upward trajectory and improving week on week because we need that depth, and I think he's key depth at the guard position for us.
Go ahead,
I agree. Anybody's better than Nate Davis. I'm sorry. No, man. I know that's your boy. I had to sneak that in there. I had to get that in. Oh, that's your boy. But I'm just done. I mean, yes, granted, he is going through something. He lost his mom, and from what I heard, him and his mom were really, really, really close. And my heart does go out to Nate Davis. But at the end of the day, you still are getting paid $30 million, man. Like you gotta at least try. And I've also heard that Matt Eberflus is done. Far as Nate Davis is concerned, he's done. He just doesn't have an interest in giving him another chance. From what I heard, it's pretty much done. After the season, he's gonna be. But we're talking about Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor, I can see why. We're talking about Tevin's injury. And this is why I don't think he's going to get that money. He just.
You went right there, Petty. You went right to the bag. Ouch.
I don't think he's going to get that money. I mean, I love Tevin when it's no question. When Tevin's healthy, he's top 5 guard in the league. I'm sorry. He is. But he just can't stay healthy. I don't think he's going to get that money. And to what I was saying about Matt Pryor, he's good depth, like you said, kids. That's what I would say. He's good depth. I would love to see the kid from Yale. I don't know why they're putting this glass box or window around him. He's a first round pick, but that's all I got. I mean, Tevin Jenkins, I don't think he's gonna get paid. Matt Pryor's good depth, and I would like to see.
Of course, you got King Book of Words comment up there, though. I was just reading through it, and there it is.
It is. It's a business. It's a business, and my condolences to you, man. I know that was some years ago, but my heart goes out to you, man. By the grace of God, my mother is still with me, but hopefully that's not soon. But when the day comes, ain't no problem. I'm gonna be a mess. I know I am. So, yeah.
Like I said, I've been there. I've had to do that myself. I was expected back at work after a certain period of time, and I went back to work. I ain't saying I was a good worker, but I went back to work, yo. So that's kind of where we are with that, and hopefully he can get over that and get better overall. But if we're going back to the Tevin Jenkins part of this conversation, this offensive line play right now over these past 4 games does not warrant re-signing anybody at big money. So there's just that being, I just got to put that out there flat out, right? If you're Ryan Poles, do you want to pay big money for a Tevin Jenkins on the 31st ranked offensive line, or do you want to go pay money to somebody who's on the 15th ranked offensive line? So it's about that simple to me. It's going to be tough for a guy like Tevin Jenkins if he's hurt frequently throughout this season. He needs to play 13 games solid, and that's what we need to see from him, really.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately for Tevin, I don't know how he got so snake bit, this early part in his career.
They're big guys in there, and that's just, to me, that's kind of what it is. Them guys get hurt, bro. Like, they rolled up on, banged on. Like, it's tough in them trenches, bro. So I get where he's at. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it is still a business, It is still a business, and they need the guy on the field. So, the longer he's not on the field, the harder it is to provide a viable evaluation of his talent. But then you push that to, okay, if we can't really evaluate him individually as a talent, let's look at how the line's performing. They're the 31st line in the league? Yeah, we can't pay big money for that.
Yeah, it's Tevin, I think, and I'm never gonna be the dude that sits there and be like, you know what, Tevin's not a good football player, or he's this, or he's that.
Whoa.
The fact of the matter is, he's been hurt every single season during the season, and we can't. I mean, reliability is important when you start talking about drawing up contracts and yourself making some money. And it's not that who knows? I think, is it worth keeping Tevin Jenkins? Absolutely. How much could he make under the circumstances? Is it the max dollars? Is it somewhere in between, or is it low somewhere in between?
This is what I'm saying, right? Like, if he reaches free agency and he's looking at another team, another team will likely offer him more than Ryan Poles may offer him to stay on the squad, given the squad's play over the past couple of years since Tevin's been here.
So I just know this, and I hate saying it, man, because y'all know I'm pro player, man. I can't help myself. This is just the way I think, but Lord knows, man, this is not going to help his case at the bargaining table. And Ryan Poles just got ammunition to offer Tevin Jenkins a contract, but nowhere near the contract that he was hoping to get, going into this situation. And unfortunately, this is just the way the ball bounces, man. You either healthy, available, and able to do the job. And I'd like to see, hopefully, that he gets out there next week and Ryan Poles doesn't have that ammunition. Be honest with you. I hope that whatever is going on with it, and Nick couldn't find anything reportable, because the Bears do a good job of trying to hide what's really going on. They don't really do a whole lot of talking about it. And that's good to a point. I don't know what they're getting out of letting people know whether or not Tevin's hurt or not, but I'm curious, and I just want to see that cat get back on the field. That's mostly what I want to say. I want to see him get out there and earn that money. I don't want to see this be the reason or the ammunition Ryan Poles needs to lowball that kid. I want to see him make money. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there for y'all. Y'all can respond to that if y'all want to.
Well, we all want to see him make money. Don't get me wrong. He's a home drafted. He's a Chicago Bears draft pick, first round, if I'm correct, right? Like, they're homegrown. There's no reason any of us shouldn't want him to be successful here. But I'm just giving you the bare facts, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. At the end of the day, they had the opportunity to sign him earlier, and let's just be frank about this. Ryan Poles made the right decision, right? He didn't sign him thinking that it's going to go in one way or the other. And it went in the other this time. We tried the same thing with Jalen Johnson, and it went the opposite direction. He wound up paying Jalen Johnson a good chunk of change. In this particular situation, it's going in the opposite direction, given the play of that offensive line. If that offensive line continues to play in a similar fashion, I do not expect a large contract offer to Tevin Jenkins. There will be a contract offer, but it ain't going to be what he'll see from multiple other teams out there in the league, which, would kind of suggest his potential departure down the road. And that sucks because I like Tevin. I think Tevin, for all intents and purposes, is the heart and soul of that offensive line. That's my take on that too.
Go ahead,
Hands down. Tevin is the heart and soul, hands down.
Ryan
Bates may be the vocal leader of the offensive line, but Tevin Jenkins is the heart and soul of that offensive line. Like homegrown talent. Don't with my last take about, I don't think he's gonna get that big contract. That does not mean in no shape, form, or fashion do I want to see Tevin Jenkins in another uniform outside of the blue and orange. No, I don't. I love Tevin Jenkins. I think, and I also said I think he's a top 3 guard when healthy, but that's the problem. He can't stay healthy. So to be paid like a top 3 guard, you have to remain healthy. You have to be on the field, and unfortunately, like you said, Nomad, he's been snake bitten. He just can't. He just can't stay healthy. And Crimson, I hate to say it, but it did. I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's Crimson. You did say that he really likes Ted, but the line looked better without him.
There wasn't a huge drop off, was there? Right? It wasn't a huge drop off when Matt Pryor came in, which is terrible. It is blasphemous for. Shame on all 3 of us for saying this. You know what I'm saying? Like, shame on us all. But yeah, the drop off wasn't huge when Matt Pryor came in the game. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. We all have our guys, man. Everybody, every year, especially this fan base, which is why I love you guys, man. Everybody that comes, you can't say nothing bad about Tevin Jenkins. Better not say nothing bad about Tyson Bagent. Better not say nothing bad about Caleb Williams right about now. You know what I mean? Because people get extremely defensive about those guys in particular. And you know what? We can't say nothing bad about Jack Sanborn either. Just have to put that out there. You better not say nothing bad about Jack Sanborn. But that being said, Tevin is a fan favorite for a whole lot of reasons, man. We play physical football here in Chicago, and Tevin Jenkins he exemplifies that. You know what I mean? And all I know is when the season is over and we're a long way from it, I like to see Tevin there at the finish line, get his money, but we had to bring it up and talk about it. Hopefully he gets through this and he can get back on the field somehow, some way, and keep putting up his case to get that money. And hopefully he will, man. But we got to move on to the next subject, and that is your guy, Braxton Jones, man. Braxton Jones. Now, I'm going to say this again. I always say this. You guys probably get tired of me saying it. I don't have the benefit of watching the All 22 before I put this statement out there. But I seen enough to know that Braxton was getting his ass kicked. Let's just talk about that. We got a left tackle problem on the Chicago Bears. He's just getting put on skates every week, man. I just got to say that. Go ahead, kid.
Wasn't that bad today. It wasn't that bad today. I wouldn't to be quite frank, I think the entire line played much better today, almost across the board, to a man, including Coleman Shelton. Good. Shout out to Coleman Shelton. Good on you today, bro. Yeah, Braxton did get blown back a couple of times. He did get put on skates a couple of times, but even then, I don't know what they could really even consider doing to manipulate that situation or manage it more effectively. I think it's just something they're going to have to live with until one of 2 things happens. Either Larry Borum comes back from IR and they decide to make some sort of a shift, or they decide to play Karan Amagaji, which they haven't decided to do yet, mainly because I don't think he's ready to go yet. So I don't we're kind of at a moot situation with Braxton Jones, and I think we just got to live with it. Patty, what do you think?
There were Nomad, and I'm asking you this, and then I'll give my take. How many plays can you remember just off right now at the top of your head that you saw Braxton Jones get pushed back into Caleb?
2, possibly 3.
Okay.
2, possibly 3.
I saw 2, possibly 3, but that's the thing. Like, he just is still having trouble with the bull rush. And it's known throughout the league. Like, all you got to do to this kid is like bull rush him. Like, put your hands into his body, into his chest, and push him back.
Okay,
And
time out, Petty, just for 1 second. I want somebody in the one of No Maniacs do me a favor. Look up Jared versus height weight. Jared versus isn't let's just say he's not the biggest edge rusher in the world. He's not small either. But Jared versus is probably somewhere in the neighborhood 6'3", probably about 260, 265, maybe. About 265. I would say that. And I think 265 is being generous. Just walking. Absolutely walking Braxton Jones back into the backfield. Just walking him. But go ahead, Petty. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, you're fine. I watched Jared. Matter of fact, Jared Verse was on my draft board at 9. I definitely
he was on mine too. It's on Rest in Peace. He was on Chris's as well. But
yeah, he was on my draft board at 9.
He said 6'4", 250, Petty.
He's 6'4", 250?
That's what Judah telling us.
And what is Braxton? Like 6'7", 6'6", 6'7"?
6'6", about 310, 315.
That sounds about right.
Man, for you to be 6'6", 310, 350, you letting somebody you got by almost 75 pounds put their hands in your chest and just walk you back.
That wasn't happening as frequently as what he's saying, though. A lot of the time they were stunting him over. So Jared Verse is coming in with a full head of steam. It's not like he's coming in and just walking him back. He's bull rushing him back with a running start from a stunt. Right, you know what I'm saying? And like they've had a hard time handling stunts all season, right? I don't see it getting much better, especially on Braxton, because again, he has a hard time handling the bull rush as it is. So a double stunt.
No damn stunts going on. Let me clear this up right now. It was straight up. I'm putting my hand in your chest. I'm taking you back there with a quarterback.
That's what you saw with Jared Verse?
About it. That's what
happened. Yeah, that's what happened. And I'm sorry, Nomad. That's what I saw too. And Booker, to your point, exactly. I don't think left tackle was for him. I think he would make a great swing tackle, if that makes sense. Like a great.
No,
I think I've
been saying that all off season.
I think he'll make. I wanted to give him one more season. Not to cut you off, Nomad. I heard what you said, and exactly. I know you've been saying that. You've been saying that since last season. He'll make a great swing tackle. I wanted to really believe in this kid because Braxton is a great guy. Like, I've actually listened to his press conferences. He's very intelligent.
He's pretty intelligent. He's a smart guy.
But he just doesn't have the butt. He just don't have, like you said, Nomad, he just don't have the butt. He don't have the butt. If you put your hands in his chest and you push him and push him back or walk him back, you got him. So I think we have to address left tackle in the offseason because, as to your point, kids, it's not going to be resolved, unfortunately.
They can't fix that now. You know what I mean? They can't fix that now in season. That is not a fixable situation.
No, that has to be fixed in the offseason. And that's all I got on Braxton Jones. I mean, great kid, love him, but he's not a starting left tackle.
I think he might make a better guard. Like to be frank with you, that might be an even better situation for him. Definite swing tackle on any team in the NFL, without a shadow of a doubt. But starting left tackle, I think we might be able to improve. And it's unfortunate we didn't really do that this offseason. Again, unless, as Bear Truth 9 is saying, Kieran is the next LT. Let's see if he can work his way into that mold.
And that's the only thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nomad.
No, I just was going to say they knew they could possibly have a problem at left tackle, and they drafted Kieran, just to be like a escape parachute, just in case, what their assumptions were, they thought were right, because I've been saying it for a year, Braxton Jones. I love Braxton Jones when we got him, but the more you look at his body type and you look at him from the waist down, he just isn't built to be able to. And he's given everything he's got, kids. And I say everything. Braxton gives every fucking thing he has. Even his best ain't enough. You just
gotta ask the world's most obvious question. Why isn't Tevin Jenkins at left tackle?
Because they came in and determined that Tevin Jenkins.
Who? These guys who made sure that the friggin' offensive line's been shit for the last 3 years? Who determined that?
They came in and determined that.
That's what I'm saying. The guys who came in and made sure the offensive line sucked for the last 3 years running, they came in and determined that Tevin Jenkins ain't no good on the left, but Braxton Jones is. Wow, we're watching Braxton Jones get walked back on a weekly basis. Wondering.
Shoe salesman people.
What'd he say? One more time, dude.
Shoe salesmen. That's what they are. These coaches, these GMs, they're shoe salesmen.
I like shoes. They're good. I walk in them. I'm just throwing the most obvious shit out there in the world. And I don't understand it. So there's a little bit of an issue there. I think a simple fix to the problem is you just switch those two guys. Boom, boom. That fixes the problem.
The only problem with that is that now that Tevin Jenkins, like Tevin Jenkins is now a guard. I'm not saying that he can't play tackle. I don't think they even give him the opportunity to play tackle in practice. He doesn't take reps anymore. And that's your problem right there, is the fact if you even think that you can pull some more left tackle out of Tevin, you better start giving him reps now. Otherwise, stick Kieran Amagaji in there and see what you got early. And if you got something, you got something. If you don't, you don't. Go to the draft high, get you another goddamn left tackle, into the story, period.
Well, again, that is is Kieran ready? I don't know. Man.
Either way, we're gonna have to find out, kid. So that's the next thing I wanted to talk about while talking about Braxton Jones. Is at some point, it's not that Braxton. I don't think they're gonna move Braxton Jones unless, God forbid, he got hurt. But at some point, they're gonna have to find out what they have in Kieran Amagaji before they go into this draft and draft high at left tackle, which is what they probably need to do. But you ain't gonna know unless you throw Kieran Amagaji out there at a role, give him a role to play, and see what he can do. And see, to me, that's a dilemma, because you could fuck around and have two starting off left tackles on your roster, and it's a good problem, but it's a problem.
It's funny to me, man, because to me, if I was evaluating it, both Kieran and Braxton are guards, and Tevin's is a tackle. That's the way I kind of see it, just by arm length alone.
Who's a guard?
Huh?
Who's a guard? You said
Braxton Jones and Kieran Amagaji.
Oh no, Braxton will get the same shit will happen to him at guard as happened to him at tackle. They'll just power rush the shit out of him. Bull rush. Everybody knows what to do to Braxton Jones. You think that's going to stop happening to him because he's not at tackle? You're a fool. Guaranteed, same thing's going to happen to him.
I think he gets I'm not sure if the same thing happens to him in the guard position, just because He's not worried about the speed anymore, so he can just anchor. You know what I mean? He has to shift and anchor and worry about the speed rush too in the tackle position. And I think that's part of the problem with his anchor, right? He's got to shift.
What happens when they put DeAndre Swift or Big Dexter Lawrence on him? What's going to happen to him? And he's playing the interior, so now he's got to play big nose tackles. All right, exactly.
Tough.
You got to picture how that's going to look.
Tough one.
Exactly what you think is going to happen is going to fucking happen, and he's going to be in trouble. Braxton Jones he's going to be a great swing tackle. We're going to have to upgrade at that position. Period. And now, can Kieran play some guard? I'm sure if they needed him to. He's got a nice lower body on him, but that's not atypical for what you want out of that guy. He drafted him to be a tackle, and will they need him at guard at some point this year? Who knows what injuries could do, but he's definitely a tackle built. The way he's made, he's a tackle. So I just wanted to put that out there, Tevin, Braxton, and Kieran Amagaji. That's enough of the bad news. Let's talk about some good shit that happened. Cole Kmet. You guys will find out when you watch this replay or when you start watching the All 22. That big run that DeAndre Swift had, fellas, that was Tevin Jenkins on a wham block, a pin. He pinned down. It wasn't like a pancake block, but if he didn't get that block, and DeAndre Swift ended up hurdling the guy that he ended up blocking, but that was Cole Kmet to put that guy on the ground. He pulled and put that guy on the ground, opening that lane up for DeAndre Swift, and he did that throughout the game. Man, Cole Kmet was integral in the blocking game and making a lot of shit happen for a lot of dudes today. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. But go ahead, kid.
I did not notice Cole Kmet in the blocking game. I truly have to say, I'm glad that he was utilized a heck of a lot more. I think his snap count went way up today. There was a fair amount of Gerald Everett and Mercedes Lewis being used today as well. Not necessarily in the passing game, though, right? So props to Cole for holding it down across the board. Thoughts on Cole Kmet, Petty?
I mean, Cole, I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but I see Cole like that Swiss Army knife to some extent. Like, he can definitely run block. Now, the pass blocking definitely has to work on the pass blocking. Granted, Indianapolis coach, I can't say his name. Number 97 on the coach, strip sack. But Cole, Latu. There you go. And that was another guy that was on my draft board. But nonetheless, Cole is I think that's the one guy. I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but I think that's the one guy we can't afford to lose to injury. Like, because that block he got on the run you were talking about, kids, I mean, he demolished that guy.
Yeah.
That boy, that almost brought a tear to my eye. Because that was nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know how that guy got back up and walked off the field because he put a nice lick on him. Nice lick. But yeah, Cole's in the run game. Cole is integral in the short to intermediate game. He's integral. So yeah, I mean, Cole played. He played a hell of a game today. I definitely was very pleased with the way he was used, the way he performed. Yeah. Cole Kmet is slowly becoming one of my favorite Bears on this team. So,
real quick, Patty Law, Queen P is giving the directive to the No Maniacs and everybody watching the show, whether you're here in the chat, you're watching an audio pod, or wherever, however you're getting the stream, please stop and hit the like button, please.
Yep.
And if you're feeling generous today, and it also costs you nothing, hit the subscribe button. We can use the support. We're less than 200 away from being at 2,000 subscribers. We can definitely use your support. We work for every inch of grass that we get, man. Every game that we get, we work for them. We don't go out there and buy them. There's this thing out there called Tube Boost where you can get all of that stuff for $1 amount. You can get all the views you want. You can get all the likes you want. You can get all the subs you want. All of that is for a price. All of that is for a price, and we choose not to. We earn every blade of grass on this channel we get. And so we just ask you guys kindly. It's free. The like button costs you nothing. The subscribe button costs you absolutely nothing. It is free. And if you want to be generous, we have being a member only costs you $4.99. So I just wanted to put that out there for the world so everybody knows that no matter what you see out there on these other podcasts, how many numbers you see them do, just understand they have things out there where you can go purchase all those likes, views, and subscriptions that you want. And it looks more than what it is. It looks more than what it actually is. Some people might say that's a great business investment. You know, go and buy your likes, go and buy your views, go and buy your subscriptions. People see that kind of thing like, oh, this must be good. I need to watch it. That's probably true. But fuck that. I want to earn mine. We're going to earn every blade of grass out here like true bears. Earn it. And that's what we're going to do out here on this channel, man. So please, if you're feeling like you're getting some good content, you heard some stuff that you thought was worthwhile. If you did, hit the like button just for that reason. Hit the subscribe. We can use your support. But with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. And we're going to flip to this side of the ball. 99 reasons, kids. And I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm going to pass the ball to y'all. I ain't going to take no meat off. You muted, kids.
Damn it, man. Tyrannosaurus Rex came out to play today. It wasn't Jurassic Park. There was definitely a dinosaur sighting out there. He came out and made his impression felt. We just need to see a whole lot more of that as we continue and as we proceed. That's really where we are right now with that defensive line. I like what he's growing into. I didn't see a lot of Billings today. Definitely saw a whole lot of Jaquan Dexter today. So shout out Jaquan for making his impression felt today. I was impressed by his efforts for sure. Petty, what do you think? What was your take on Jaquan Dexter?
Gorilla Dex. That's all I gotta say.
There it is.
That man is a gorilla. Like that man gonna be a killer. He stay healthy. I'm gonna do you one better. If that man stays healthy, he's gonna be Chris Jones.
Yeah, he could be.
Like that man was a problem today. Problem. Like he was whooping. Like, was that him that? No, that was Montez Swift that beat that double team and got that fumble. He got the
that was that one. Yeah, that one was nasty, Teddy. That was nasty.
I mean, Jaquan Dexter, man. Like,
by the way, Petty, that's him on this T-shirt without no pads on. By the way.
Oh man, yeah, that's the shirt I was talking about. Yeah, that's the shirt. Yep, I definitely got to get that because man, I mean, God, how many sacks he had today? Did he have 1, 2 sacks, or did he just have one in a fumble recovery? I can't remember.
He got 1 recorded sack. This is 3 in 4 games, man. He's on a trend, boy.
3 and 4 games. Like when he said before the season started that he wanted to be one of the greats, I knew he wasn't. I was like, okay, I believe you, but I didn't know he wanted to be this great. Like this is, whoo, man. I just have no words, man. Like this kid, I mean, golly, like I'm speechless. That just 99 reasons. Gorilla Dex. That's all I can say. Gorilla Dex. That's my name for him. Gorilla Dex. That's all I got.
And let me tell you something. When it comes to Jaquan Dexter, I feel like I got the right to gloat a little bit because anybody, Petty, me and Petty was just talking about it in the green room before the show came on, which was funny because I didn't at the time he didn't know that I was gonna put this shirt up here and you know put that out there for the world. But you know, I can remember when he was coming out. And it seemed like I'm just gonna repeat what I was talking to Petty about in the green room. And it seemed like if you didn't get Jalen Carter and you needed a 3-tech, then the world was gonna come to an end, didn't it? Did it not, Petty? You didn't get if you didn't get Jalen Carter as a 3-tech and you need a 3-tech to run your defense, the world was gonna come to an end. And we got 99. And we got 99. I told people the whole time, I was just like, man, people are sleeping on this dude. Everybody's like, oh, he's slow getting off the ball. He this, he that. I'm like, dude, you got to understand the concept that he's playing in. They're not asking him to fire off the ball and do what we do in a one-gap scheme here in Chicago. He's two-gapping. There's a difference. And so why you see the delayed get off and which he did own when he got here, and he knew that he had to erase that muscle memory when he got here, being slow off the ball, you know, kind of playing that two-gapping scheme and holding up, trying to play in two gaps. That's muscle memory you got to erase. Now he's telling you got one job: erase that line of scrimmage and back it up, get in the backfield, and game in and game out. You starting to see this guy flash and flash and flash, and that's the muscle memory going away, and him re-ingraining his mind with something new. And what I'm telling you guys is whatever you see now ain't shit on what he's going to be later on. The more and more he reconfigurates his mind, and his body's going to follow what his mind's telling him to do. And I'm telling you, we got a stud. 99 is a stud. I just want to put that out there. Another great game, and he produced when we needed him to. He's a timely pass rusher. Very timely. It's like you can not even know he's in the game at times. And the next thing you know, you need a down. You need to get off the field. Here comes 99. Here comes 99. It's absolutely amazing what I've been seeing this cat doing to take this down. But yeah, Gervon Dexter, man, I got nothing but praise for that guy. I'll let you guys get one more round the clock with him, man. Y'all want to talk about him one more time? Go ahead, because I could talk about him all night.
No, I'm good, man. And you can. I'm good. And end of the day, I just want to continue to see steady and stable growth from him at that position. I think he's doing a fantastic job at exactly that. He's moving in, at the right pace. He's growing at the right pace for this team. So just continued success for Gervon Dexter.
Man, go ahead. If you want to touch it, go ahead, Petty, because, man, Gervon Dexter's my guy.
I just wanted to respond to Scottish Bear. Scottish Bear, you couldn't have said it no better, sir. Carter, I mean, he said it. I mean, I can't say, I mean, what is there to say about this kid? Like I mean, this kid is unreal. Like, is he real? Like, does he really play for our team? Like, this kid is something.
I just put it like this, Petty. Right now, all I see, and this is light work right now. All I see is maintaining right now. What I see coming is pure dominance. Just pure dominance. When he wants to get to the quarterback and he don't want that guy in front of him to stop him, it's gonna be whenever I fucking feel like it, and what you gonna do about it kind of player. That's what you got. That's what you got in Chris Jones.
Yep. And real quick, Nomad, you know who else had that mentality? He just retired and he got a Super Bowl. He got a ring. Retired. AD. When AD made up in his mind that if the game was on the line and AD made up in his mind you was not beating his team, there was nothing you could do. You could send the whole offensive line at that man, and he still was gonna affect that quarterback.
When he decided he wanted to get in there and touch your quarterback up, he's gonna go touch your quarterback up.
Yep.
Touch him up.
Eat it. Take his lunch money. Yep.
Love it, man. I gotta stop, man, because I could talk about Javon Dexter all day. Daryl Taylor came up big in critical situations. He probably would have had a sack. Remember when Matthew Stafford kind of flipped that ball out? That was right under. He flipped that right under Daryl Taylor. He was breathing right down his neck, and that was almost like a knee-jerk reaction. But Matthew Stafford is just that could have easily went the wrong way, man. But Daryl Taylor was breathing down Matthew Stafford's neck when they needed him to. And also, I just want to point out this play, the game-winning interception that Jaquan Brisker got. He got that because of Daryl Taylor pressure. Daryl Taylor was on top of Matthew Stafford's ass. I don't know if people noticed that during the game. That was Daryl Taylor that caused that. So when Quan got that interception, he should have ran right over there and gave it to Daryl Taylor because that was all him. Go ahead, kids.
He played well today. You know, he definitely got a fair amount of pressure. He got at least one batted pass, right? He was getting into the backfield. That's what we need him to do. We need him to get back there and be disruptive. You know, there's been just about nothing negative I have to say about his play since he's joined this team. And that says a lot given the play that we had coming out of that particular position over the course of the last year. So far it's been a bit of a boost. I hope that continues. And I'm also going to say, I know we're talking about Daryl Taylor very specifically, but I think we should all keenly await the return of Jaquan Martin as well. I think that's going to continue to make that rotation on that side that much more powerful. Betty, what did you see in Daryl Taylor today?
Oh man, I wish I could share my. I wish I had the picture of his introductory press conference in this laptop, in this tablet, and I could share my screen and show you guys. But I'll just do his ass. That's what I gotta say about Daryl Taylor. Like Taylor, that kid's a problem. And to your point, to one of your earlier points, Nomad, he was in a 3-4 in Seattle, right? So he really couldn't.
Yep.
You know, he was playing out of position. I can tell he was playing out of position because it seems like every snap that kid's in the backfield. He may not get the sack, but he's in the backfield. Like he's whooping your left tackle. And I've seen him whoop some pretty good left tackles. Like who was it? Was that Tunsil? That was Tunsil. Tunsil played that Texans game, right?
Yeah, Tunsil held him in check for the most part. He didn't get him too tough, but he got around him a couple times. But
yeah,
Tunsil
that's what I mean. Yeah, Tunsil won that one, but there was some times that Taylor got him. There were a couple of times Taylor got him, but Taylor's a problem. He's definitely a problem. He definitely is the reason that Jaquan got that game in the interception. You know, a lot of people felt that was roughing the passer because he hit him. They said he hit him above the shoulder, but he hit him on like the inside. He didn't hit him and pull, but he kind of like grazed his like the inner jersey. He kind of grazed it. Now, you know, that was not roughing the pass. I thought that was a great no call by the referee. I felt Matthew should have ate that. And if he exactly, it was chest to chest. When Matthew watches the tape, I'm sure he's gonna say, well, maybe I could have ate that, you know, to live and fight another down. But Daryl Taylor, he's definitely worth whatever they're paying him. He's definitely worth it. And then to your point, kids, Jaquan Martin, I forgot we had Jaquan Martin. And that's another one of the guys, Nomad, if I'm not mistaken, you were talking about in the offseason. It's going to be interesting. This defensive line is going to be interesting. Like this rotation it's going to be interesting to see how far along Air Washington progresses this defensive line and this defense as the season goes. One thing I was telling Nomad, and this is a little bit off topic, I feel we play a little too much zone. And Nomad, I know you said that's Flus's happy house or a happy zone. I just think that we should play a little more man in certain situations against certain quarterbacks. But as far as Daryl Taylor is concerned, I have no complaints. Like, I'm very pleased with his performance.
Probably, I think King Booker, might have hit the dot when he said that, that might have been top 2-3 moves in the offseason. The fact that we got him. And I think it was and I do believe this, man. I 100% believe that Eric Washington's arrival in Chicago probably facilitated that move. Why? Is because we've been looking for speed off the edge to come to go with Montez Sweat's power off the other side. And so to have that combination, and for some reason, if you look at the history of the 4-3 in Chicago, the Lovey scheme, and the way Tony Dungy played it, you know what I mean? You had to have your fastball guy along with your power guy on the other side, that edge setter on the other side that can also pass rush the quarterback, who is Montez Sweat. You got the polar opposite of that guy on the other side that can really get around you with speed. You got that power guy that can really get right down the line of scrimmage after the quarterback as a speed rush was forcing him to the inside. And then you got that inside pass rush that's coming up. Your Javon Dexter's, your Andrew Billings, and it's kind of forcing them into a cut. And so the way it's working out so far is starting to, and I'll say this too, we haven't even gotten to where we need to be there yet either. That's going to get better. Can believe that shit or not, that's going to get a whole lot better than what it looks like right now. I've seen that shit, and it's at the early stages of it. As the season goes on, I'm telling you right now, that pass rush is going to get more and more detrimental to the offense than what you see so far. I'm telling you, it's just going to get greater. Just wanted to put that out there. And we also got Jake Martin coming probably next week.
There we go.
So just wanted to put that out there, man. I think we have momentum. I don't think shit. I know we have momentum after a game like this. We have the momentum pointing in our direction. The win is behind us. We can string together a couple of games here to really, really build on what we got going on. And I'm telling you, this defense is every bit of the billing. I'm telling you, I don't care how many yards Matthew Stafford had on us today, how much he moved the ball. Matthew Stafford's going to do that against Lottie, Dottie, everybody. I'm going to say that again. Lottie, Dottie, everybody. Matthew Stafford's going to do that to everybody. So don't feel bad because it happened to the Bears. It ain't nothing new. That's what he does to everyone. But if you play in a zone scheme anyway. But that being said, let's move on to this next subject, man. What do you guys think about Jaquan Brisker? No meat off the bone, kids. Passing it right to you.
Jaquan had a really good game, right? They were using him in blitzing capacity quite frequently too. 2 potential interceptions on the game. Pulled one away. One, unfortunately, was called back due to the fact that he stepped out of bounds. Pretty tight coverage across the board today for Jaquan. Really made his impression felt. I think this was really a Jaquan Brisker affair today. Like he made his impression felt on the football game today, and that he should definitely be commended for that today. What do you think, Petty?
I mean, it was only 2 things I was mad at him about. 2 plays. The first
before you answer that, Petty, let me ask you this question. How many big, deep down the field passes, like for 40, 50 yards, did you see?
Because of Jaquan or just overall?
No, just how many did you see?
I saw some 20s, maybe 130.
So
but I didn't.
They kept them underneath, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So who do you give credit to that for? No explosive plays downfield. It's the safeties.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I just throw that out there.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. But that unnecessary roughness, Jaquan has to be better. Like I understand he's a agitator, so to speak. And I'm not saying don't be you, but also be smart. Know when to be you, know how to be you, if that makes sense. Know how to be you, if that makes sense. I thought that, that penalty could easily been avoided, but I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. If I was his coach, I'd just say, like, come on, Jaquan, you better than that. Like, I'd just give him a little pep talk. I wouldn't, bite his head off. I'd just give him a little pep talk. The third down, he gave up a third down to Tutu Atwell, but that was asking him to do something that he's not good at doing, which is covering 20-25 yards down the field. Like, he's not that kind of safety. Like that's more so Kevin Byard. If you had to pick between the two, I would give Byard that responsibility more than I would Jaquan. But yeah, no, Kez, no, man, he had a solid game. I give him an A- overall. As long my only question would be, can he stay healthy? Because he's
knocking on wood.
In the NFC. Can you name me a better strong safety in the NFC? I know the AFC has some good strong safeties, but in the NFC, can anybody in the chat, Nomad kids, can anybody name me a better strong safety in the NFC?
Hufanga.
I was gonna say he probably plays for the 49ers if there is one.
Here's my problem with
Hufanga. The one 49er it could be.
Here's my problem with Hufanga. Hell of a safety, but can he stay healthy? He got the same problem Jaquan got.
That safety is gonna have that problem.
That is a problem.
Especially
if they wrap up tackle. If they actually get in there in the box and tackle, man.
They ain't nothing but skinny ass linebackers. That's what they do.
Yeah. But Jaquan's a dog. He's a dog. Like he's for defense. I got Sweat, Javon. I got Javon Sweat, and then him. Those are my three favorite defensive players.
Can I throw something at you, kid? And I want to notice. This is some nuanced shit that you got to really, really be paying attention to really notice if the shit. It's not like because I play football, I know this shit. It's just stuff that I'm watching during the game that I picked up. If you've noticed, since Jaquan Brisker's been here, when he comes up in the box and has to blast somebody one-on-one, make a hole tackle, what I mean by a hole tackle, when he's one-on-one in the hole, and you got to be the one to get this tackle, he's going for 60 yards, and he has to make that one-on-one hard-ass hit, Jaquan will come up in the past couple of years, he'll come up holding that shoulder, holding his arm. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
How
many times have you seen him do that shit this year?
Not at all.
You know why? Because Kevin Byard is being a great influence on him, on how to take care of his body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have been watching his podcast, or if you watch he's been on a few people's podcasts, but he did an interview on his off day with somebody, and it turned out to be, I don't know whether it was a news reporter or a podcast, but he's getting the IV on his off day, replenishing his body, getting hydrated on his off day. And on his off day, who's doing that kind of shit other than somebody that figured out something? Kevin Byard doesn't miss games and he doesn't miss practice. And there's a reason for that. He's got a regiment that he wants to impart on this young man, this young player that wants to have a long career, talking about Jaquan Brisker. And he's imparted that on Jaquan Brisker. And Jaquan Brisker, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm almost willing to guarantee you Jaquan Brisker is picking up what he's laying down. Would you guys want to argue with that or agree with that?
I agree. Yeah, makes 100% total sense.
Just wanted to put that out there for people. I noticed him making those hole shots and hitting people in the hole, and he's not getting up hurting no more. He's figuring something out with his body and how to manage it and take care of it, man. And and Jaquan Brisker, that was to me his only drawback is Jesus Christ, man, stay healthy. Knocking on wood, fellas. Knocking on wood. So I just wanted to say that, man. I just noticed that about Jaquan, and I'm loving that. All right, so we got a couple more things, man. Montez Sweat and Jalen Johnson didn't show up on your stat sheet. Did not show up. I think Montez might have showed up on your stat sheet with a sack. But him absorbing double teams and really setting the edge over there when he needed to, and Jalen Johnson setting the edge in the run game. There's a couple of plays that we announced live on the broadcast that really stuck out, maintaining his boundary and forcing the ball on the inside. And then on that I think there was a third down when they needed to get a first down and they were charging down the field. And it was a screenplay out to the left side, right over towards Jalen. Jalen made a hold tackle and shut down that drive. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Jalen and Montez played huge roles in this game. So give them their flowers if you want.
Well, they should be getting flowers every single game. And even in the games that they lose. Those two particular players play at that level every single week. And just like you're saying, whether the stat numbers are high or low, just pay attention and you'll see it in their performance every single week. Those two guys. Again, my hopes is that they continue on to be Pro Bowl caliber players once more. I think they are. And I see it every week. And what I saw from Montez Sweat this week, me and Petty were laughing about it earlier on. But Montez Sweat just ran. He was double teamed, and he just bull rushed two men to make this play. The sack, he just bull rushed both those guys. He didn't care who was in front of him or what the situation was, and off he went, sack. And I was like, whoa. The sweat effect is sometimes crazy. Sometimes it's just sweat doing it, right? So I hope those stats continue for him, but it doesn't really matter as long as he's making his impression felt. As long as they're dedicating two men to him, his job is done. That simple.
Go ahead, Patty.
Montez Sweat. We were dead last. The first, I think it was, when was the trade deadline? When was the trade deadline last year? Was it week 7?
I think it was 6? November 7th.
It was week 7.
It was week 7?
Yep, just like it is this year.
Okay. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's not the same every year. We were dead last. Wait, say what, kids? I'm sorry.
I think it's week 9 this year, but anyways.
Okay. We were dead last in total defense. Like just about every major category we were dead last in last year around this time. I would love to see where we are this time this year. And if we're anywhere between 15 and 10, Montez Sweat has a lot to do with that. That's all I'm going to say as far as he's concerned. And for my boy, NBA J, as he is on Twitter or calls himself, I'm not going to lie. I wanted JJ gone. I did. I really
respect Petty for even saying that, man. You didn't even have to do that, but respect.
I wanted him gone, and the reason being is because he wasn't getting interceptions. But now I see it wasn't because he just wasn't a great corner. It's just that I guess teams saw how sticky he was and just was scared to throw to him. And from I say the Raiders game last year until now, I would be very scared too. these quarterbacks are smart. They pretty much, I'm sure their coaches get with them the week of playing the Bears and say, we're not throwing to Jalen Johnson. We're not gonna let Jalen Johnson change the game. Jalen Johnson is a game changer. We're not gonna let him change the game. We're not gonna let him be the reason they put up 31 points on us because he's picking the ball out 2-3 times and either getting a pick six or returning it to our red zone and giving Caleb Williams a short field. He, man, like JJ, he's earning that money. Like at the start of the season, he was like, I'm tired of talking. I want to go put it on wax. I can't complain so far. He gave up a few plays today, but that's, I mean, even Deion Sanders gave up some plays. Like, and Deion Sanders, in my opinion, there's no contest. He's the greatest corner to ever play the game. I have his rookie jersey. Like, that's how much of a Deion Sanders fan I am. Like, but JJ, if JJ stays, then that's the heart and soul of the secondary. If JJ goes down, we're in trouble. Knock on wood, Nomad.
Right. Gotcha.
We're yeah, JJ is the man. I'm glad he shut me up. I'm glad he proved me wrong. He's the man. And if he doesn't go to the Pro Bowl this year, I'm riding. I'm going to find the voters and me and them are going to have a fight because he deserves.
I got some
he
old vegetables out in the garden out of William, man. You can throw all that shit at him.
Because he should have made it last year. There is no way on God's green earth you could have that kind of season and not make all pro, all that, and don't make the Pro Bowl, and then you don't get rated top 100. Like what? Like
it's okay, Patty. Yeah. It's okay. He gonna prove it this season. I know he's already started. He's gonna prove it this season and you just let him go. The question is, are they going to target him enough for him to prove it? Because if I was a quarterback, I would leave that brother alone.
Hey, top 10 Soldier Field. We gotta pick it. We gotta pick it wherever the fuck. What's the commissioner's name? Whatever his name, we gotta pick it. That motherfucker's office. Shit, if he don't make it this year, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna what Bernie Mac said, it's gonna be trouble.
Double M says Rod Woodson is better than Deion Sanders. Shout out! I would actually
you trying to start a fight. You trying to start a fight, Double M?
I would say Daryl Green and Daryl Reeves have to be in that conversation too. But
trying to start a motherfucking war up in this motherfucker, man.
Deion Sanders,
and then Raiders fans would have their guy up there too. Is it Woodson? Who's a? Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, Charles Woodson. No, Charles Woodson was.
He said
he
Rod.
He said Rod. He said Rod Woodson. Ronnie Lott.
Rod was a good corner.
Okay. All right, Double. No. I ain't joking though. Ronnie Lott's a real deal too.
Double
Ronnie Lott was
Double M trying to start a humbug around this motherfucker. What you trying to do, man?
He's a safety. I remember Ronnie Lott. He was a hell of a player too, but Deion was the man. Like Deion put fear. He put real fear in offensive coordinators. Offensive coordinators could not sleep at night because of Deion Sanders.
Troy Polamalu?
No, we talking about
the McGrath just had to throw another one in the mix.
Hold on. Let's be clear now. We talking about different positions. Y'all throwing safeties in the shit. We talking about
safeties in there. We talking corners. Deion is 101 in my book. I'm sorry. Greatest corner ever.
Ain't no question. There's some other ones out there, but ain't no question. He's a Mount Rushmore looking down at everybody else on a mountain by his goddamn self. That's how good he is.
Yep.
I mean, I'll touche with anybody that wants to go back and forth with me about that, but he's that dude. He's that dude. Deion, that boy, man.
Daryl Green, huh?
Hey, he tough.
Daryl Green out here, he's somewhere out there pissed off right now, man. Daryl Green's mad right now.
Daryl Green was, man, he was a bad boy, but I'm sorry, 1-1. They didn't call him prime forever for nothing. They didn't call him prime time for nothing.
That's
All
true.
right. How about this, man? Before we get ready to wrap this thing up, I got to do this, man, so all the excited Bears fans can see exactly what one thing that we do over here that we don't put on display quite enough is this stuff right here. So we got some dope merch on the website, man. Got some dope merch on the website, and we're gonna put up more. So what you see here is the 99 Reasons, your Devon Dexter t-shirt, and you see the DJ Moore, the 2 hype. And you also see the Super No Maniacs, all the members and all the people that want to become members. I think this is a dope ass shirt as well, man. You know, you can get you a shirt out there. But this series right here that I'm doing with these players, I'm bringing it along as we go through the season. I've got one for Austin Booker. I don't know if I'm ready to put that out. I got one that I'm thinking about for and Nick can jump in and tell me if he thinks I should put the Austin Booker one out or not. But I've got one I'm thinking about for TJ. But I'm working my series for the guys that we have on the team, the key players that we have, and this is the ones I felt comfortable in putting out. So you got 99 Reasons, Javon Dexter, and you got 2 hype with my guy DJ Moore. So just wanted to let you know that's at the website at Nomad-Network, the-Nomad-Network.com, the-Nomad-Network.com. My fault. I can't talk worth of shit tonight. But it's there. If you guys want it, man, go check out the website. And we're going to constantly be updating the website, putting more and more merchandise out there. I'm pretty sure that I won't stop at just Bears gear. So I'm just going to warn you guys ahead of time. This ain't a Bears-centric website, but we're going to put a lot of Bears shit on it. So we're going to do I'm going to do other designs and other teams so that, you know, the truth is, this is my job right now, and I need to make money so I can pay people too. And so why do we do this kind of stuff? So that we can make money so we can pay people to do things. That's why we do it. So just wanted you to know it's out there. If you guys want to check it out, go to the website and do that, man. It's all there for you. But let's give some pleasantries, man, before we get ready to get out of here. We talk about whatever you want to talk about, kids. My boy, happy birthday, my dog. My number one dog, kids. Happy birthday. Happy belated, bro.
Oh, geez, thanks. Yes, birthday Bears win. I'm hype about it. I hope you guys are hype about it. One of the questions that's floating around in the chat before we bail out is thoughts on coaching Eberflus Waldron today. So I'll give you my little 2 cents. I'll throw it around, and then we'll get out of here. And right off the bat, coaching was not abysmal today, almost across the board. So there really wasn't any situations where there was a lot of clock management to be had or performed. I got to give Eberflus a pass on that today. Didn't really have to deal with it. He was fine with it. We were fine with it. We did not lose today because of Matt Eberflus. I'm not sure if we won today because of Matt Eberflus. I'm going to say we won today when it comes down to coaching. More likely because of Eric Washington and Shane Waldron today. I think Shane Waldron took a step back by way of what he wants to do with the offense. I think the team as an offense took a step forward because Shane Waldron started to recognize what his team actually is good at and started to do things along those lines and put that, have that accentuated on the field. So I appreciate what Shane Waldron did today. There was a few times out there where he'd schemed up some open receivers and unfortunately it just didn't shake out the way we wanted it to. But the upside was he seemed to be doing the right thing. He didn't get hung up and stuck on screens all game long, right? He did do a couple of screens, but he was able to maneuver his way. What it do, Ricky Leahy? But I have to appreciate what Shane Waldron put down today as well. And as far as Eric Washington is concerned, that defense didn't look quite as vanilla as we probably would have expected it to. They did definitely dip into the secondary and linebacking core for some blitzing, some exotic blitzing. We did see a fair amount of it. So That's all stuff that I generally don't see coming from Matt Eberflus. It's not really his style, so I kind of have to chalk it up to good old Eric Washington. Something we talked about before the game. I didn't see any evidence of Flus calling any offensive plays either, but again, I'll keep my eyes peeled on that. So I'm going to say a solid B for both Eric Washington and Shane Waldron, and I'll give a straight up C grade for Matt Eberflus. Petty Murphy, what did you think about the coaching today?
I'm with you, kids. I'm with you. About a B plus for Washington, B plus for Waldron, about a solid C plus for Eberflus. I actually for one week I can actually call him by his name and not call him Eber Puke because he didn't make me want to puke. Yeah, I mean, solid win. I mean, I'm happy. We got a very, 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 very winnable game next Sunday. I believe it's the Panthers and the Red Rifle. Somebody that we're familiar with. So we should go into the bye week 4-2. Yes, the Jaguars game is in London, but Trevor Lawrence, I was telling somebody earlier today, Trevor Lawrence is trash. Like, he is. Like, when are we gonna have this conversation about him being a bust? Because kid, what is this? His fifth season and one playoff appearance? Like, but I digress. Yeah, solid win. Very winnable game. Two very winnable games coming up and going into the bye. So let's go into the bye strong. That's all I got.
I know.
What I would say to that is, I think everybody, every special teams all the way up to the head coach gets an A today. It's not because of what they came out doing, it's how they adjusted. So it would have been some B's and C's given out had they not gone into halftime and made the proper adjustments and kept their foot on the gas when they needed to. And so I think everybody comes out with the A. Play calling on the offensive side, defensive side. Matthew Stafford was going to do Matthew Stafford and do Matthew Stafford shit. But I think they responded well, and I'm giving everybody an A because we never get a chance to do that. And I think everybody responded well. Every one of the special teams guys, everybody on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball got the job done. And so I'm giving A's out, man, because that's how I feel about my team right now. And I think they did a good job.
All right.
Let's give out some questions before we get ready to go.
Yeah. Give these guys some love. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for representing with us and showing us your love and support. As per normal, let's give you guys a little bit of love and support right back at you. In the grass, thanks for coming through. He's laughing at the good old flowing hair comment. Maybe that's what Trevor Lawrence needs. Maybe he just needs a haircut. It worked for Samson. Double M, what it do? Good to see you out there. Katrina, just pulling in. Yeah, it was not necessarily a solid win, but it's exactly the type of win that we need. We need the offense to put up between 21 to 25 points, 21 to 28 points a week. If they can do it, this defense will hold it down, and that I'm confident in. So this was an example of that. The question is, did they understand the formula to get there and repeat it? Let's find out more next week. Jigsaw, big love to you as always. Smitty Q, hope everything is good, my dog. Stay up, man. Stay safe. And stay out of the water out there, man. All right. Crimson, you dig. Super No Maniac Crimson, big love to you. MC Fact, Ricky Leahy, shout out to you, Ricky. Thanks for the birthday respect. Top 10, mad love to you, brother. Aunt Moss, Super No Maniac, Aunt Moss, Scottish Bear out there, 4 a.m. Get some rest, my dude. What's up, Dante Purify, Bears Junkie 23 HOF. Who am I missing out there? Mo Fugra's with us. Big representation by my guy Mo Fugra. It's Crimson You Dig, Mr. Mayhem, here to remind me that Velus Jones sucks. It is what it is, but as long as the run game's working, I don't care who's running the ball. D Burns is out there with us today, representing Patty Laura, Junior. What's up, Junior? Shout outs to Keith Harris, to Brian. Big shout outs to both of you guys. I gotta give you guys a little bit of love. Shout outs to J2K as well. Derek Carter. Who else am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Oh, Sean Sierra, the super back. Big love to Sean. Joseph Belinsky, Joseph Carter, and Litany, and my guy, the minister. Big love to the minister, Charles Johnson, super no maniac minister Charles Johnson. Always good to have you in. And Skylark 808. I think that about rounds it out. Oh, one last guy, Keith Spencer. Thanks for coming through, Keith. Like, share, subscribe. That being said, Bears win. It's my birthday. I'm happy. Take it for what it's worth. Hopefully we can do this again next week and the week after that. Bear down, y'all.
Go ahead, Patty.
All right. I want to real quick respond to a comment. I believe it was kind of Spear that said that the Panthers have an interior monster. Watch out, Coleman Shelton. If you're referring to Derrick Brown, he tore his Achilles or his ACL. He's done for the year. So they will not have Derrick Brown. So that's gonna be great for Coleman Shelton. But anyway, chat, the chat was jumping. I really, as always, enjoyed being on the show with you guys, Nomad Kids. I just wish my guy was still with us. God rest his soul. That was my guy, Chris Washington. We're gonna try to do something really special this year for you, Chris. And if we can get it done, it'll be that much sweeter. But again, chat, thank you. I really appreciate your energy. Nomad Kids, my brother, happy birthday.
Thanks,
Nomad, you know you my guy. Anytime you need me to come on, if I can do it like I told you, I will definitely be on. And bear down, y'all. Chi-town up and bear down.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate it, man. You don't need no invitation. You just let me know when you want to come on. You got a piece you want to part with the No Maniacs, you just jump on. We do it. Man, that's how it is, man. And I apologize for not getting you on here sooner, man. It was just all the.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, not a problem. Not a problem. I don't take offense when I don't take offense. I know your heart. So as long as I know your heart, I have no, now when I gotta wonder about you, that's when I raise an eyebrow. But if I know your heart and know your intentions and know they're pure, I have no issue.
I definitely appreciate that, man, because I am what I say I am, and I do back up what I say the best I can. If don't nothing get in the way, I will stand behind what I say. And so, that being said, man, I definitely appreciate you. We'll get you on more. It's just and I want to say this to everybody too, man. This ain't a sales job right here. This is just pure what we've been through over here at the network with just to show you how big of a piece that Chris was to the network. It forced me, and again, I'm talking about stuff that I was talking to Petty about in the green room. It forced me to, get outside of my comfort zone and start doing things that I wasn't necessarily used to doing. And it's basically made me have to reconfigure everything, how I go about managing this network, how I go about bringing people on, guests, time spent having to do things that you have to do to maintain a channel. All of that stuff makes a difference. And, and I do apologize to him for not getting, I want to get a lot more people on here, man, but I've been adjusting to having to play a bigger role on the network because we don't have Chris, we don't have J2K. So I had to pick up the baton. And so getting adjusted to my workload and what I have to do, I promise you guys I was going to give you more. We're going to give you more podcasts, even if I had to do it myself. I will come on and give you guys more podcasts because y'all are worth it, man. Y'all are here every time we need something, man. So I appreciate you all. And I want to say I love you all. We don't know each other personally, but we know each other. It's like a big old ass block party. You know what I mean? It's like a big block party when we come to this channel. It's like everybody knows each other and everybody gets to beat the hell out of each other's kids and bring them home if they get in trouble. You know what I mean? It's like we all family around here, and I love that kind of atmosphere. But before we get out of here, I want to say this to everybody. And I'm speaking from somebody that's already done some charity work and some donation work. Pick yourself a charity or a donation that's going to help some of these people that's dealing with Hurricane Helene. You already heard Smitty Q say that he's in a shelter because of something that happened as a byproduct of what that hurricane brought to the table, man. And just if you want my opinion, always choose the Red Cross. That money gets to where it needs to go. You don't have to worry about bullshit when it comes to where your donation dollars goes to. Red Cross will never let you down. And so if you wanted my opinion, if you want to donate to help something out, donate to the Red Cross and help those people. They're going to need every last bit of it. But let me get to my guy Jigsaw with a $5 super chat. Shot in the beer for Nomad and kids. Mine is more for kids. I'm about to have a shot for them right now. Let's do it, kids. Let's do it. Let's do it. You on mute, kids.
Brother, my drink's finished. I need to re-up, bro.
Oh, well, I'm about to have one for you. I'm about to have one for you on 3, man. 1, 2, 3. Shots.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers to all you maniacs out there, man.
But thank you guys for coming. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. I don't know if maybe tomorrow. My girlfriend's off. I'll try to sneak one in. But if not, I'll see you guys Tuesday. We'll do a show. We'll get some more content coming right at you guys. But with that being said, I got to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, tell me why in the world you can't manifest it. If you can't manifest it, you're getting in your own goddamn way. Just get on out your way and make something happen in this world. But with that being said, we are out. Good show. I actually had a shot.